Hello and welcome to the dramatic reading of Through the Eyes of Another Pony, Part 4.
Whatever you prefer, I suppose.
She replied, laughing a tad in response to my nonchalant approach to rather significant details in my life. Let's go with a pony name for now. Let's go with something cool and related to fire in some way. Suggestions, Lady and Dragon? I decided to get help.
Yeah, hotter.
Spike said with a smirk, earning a glare from Twilight. I laughed. It was pretty clever, and to be fair, I had insulted Spike's cooking.
How about Firefly?
Twilight gave a helpful smile. I grimaced. Dash's beta name. I don't think so. Not because it's a bad idea, but yeah, trust me when I say that could cause problems. That's the last thing I want to do.
Spitfire?
Spike suggested with a draconian shrug. That's the lead pony of the Wonderbolts, I pointed out, not sure if they were aware or not. She might take offense.
Well, your cutie mark is a fiery shield.
Twilight tapped her chin with a pensive hoof. Yeah, but Pinkie Pie's cutie mark is a bunch of balloons, I pointed out instantly. So really, it can be whatever I like, I suppose. Twilight gave me a suspicious glance, probably catching on to the fact that she had never mentioned Pinkie Pie or cutie mark.
I suppose so.
Bah! I can't think on an empty stomach, I said with a huff and got off. Yee! Got up off the bench, jumping to my hoofs rather over-dramatically. Spike! To the kitchen! Have you ever heard of lo mein? No. He responded flatly and proceeded to saunter away, leaving me somewhat deflated. His lack of enthusiasm simply would not do. As such, I picked him up by his spines and tossed him onto my back, galloping away in the general direction he had aimed for.
Hey, watch it.
Be careful with him. I only have one.
I heard Twilight call out to me jokingly. Just sit tight, you'll want to see this, I promised him before spawning. You want to see this? I promised him before spotting the place of business that I had been looking for. Yes! Now, Spike, I'm gonna work incredibly fast. I need you to keep up, and I'll need quick responses on where to find ingredients and cooking utensils.
Okay, I'll try.
He said, my fervor having dispelled his disinterest and replaced it with hesitant curiosity. Good. First thing I need is a large handkerchief, I demanded, to which Spike directed me towards a certain drawer that had an assortment of rags, handkerchiefs, and potholders. I snatched one out, whipped it over my head to help with any sweating or loose hair, and tied it tight with a bit of unicorn magic that I didn't even realize I was using. To quote a certain white pony with fabulous royal purple hair,
Oh, it is on.
and it was like magic, I tell you. My mind was set to a task, and I simply had to get it done. Spike was a bit slow at first, but as he caught on, he became more eager to participate, and it wasn't long before I had given him a mixing bowl to work at from his seat on my back while I zipped about the kitchen eagerly. Then came the fun part. Because I learned my second fire trick when I suddenly realized that I had to work with a wood stove. No, not a stove made out of wood. A stove heated by wood, you goofs. I tried to light the wood with a little cigarette lighting trick, but that just wasn't going to happen. I barely got one of the corners to flare up red before starting to lose faith. Finally, I became angry and blew at the small cinder as hard as I could. What came next was shocking to both me and Spike when I had suddenly spat fire into dry tinder, instantly setting the wood ablaze.
Whoa! I've never seen a fire-breathing pony before. Or a fire-breathing anything that wasn't a dragon.
Me neither, I exclaimed, just as blown away as he was until I became distracted with the fact that the fire was not going to be hot enough for what I needed. With that in mind, I tossed a pan full of doughy noodles up on the stove and began breathing more fire into the fuel. Within moments, I heard the wonderful sound of noodles frying. Several minutes later, I served up lo mein. Hold up. Slightly inaccurate, since a few key utensils were missing. But it tasted exactly the same, or so I was hoping. I felt so proud of me as I came out, pushing a cart adorned in a matching trio of bowls, that I was almost skipping like a little girl. It wasn't entirely complete, I suppose, but I had taken care to throw in lots of cabbage, along with some carrot strips and bean sprouts, as well as some makeshift seasoning. It was so vegan there was just no way it could be received poorly by my ever-voiced friend.
Bon appetit, ma chérie.
I said with a goofy grin, snagging my bowl with my mouth and setting it down before digging in. Not as good as the authentic stuff, but it was very close. Twilight must have thought it was the strangest looking stuff she had ever seen, because she was very slow to nibble at first before confirming its quality with an eager bite. Spike, having already tested it behind my back,
He only thought he got away with it.
had no problem sticking in right away. It was when Twilight decided to mimic me and slurp a few noodles from one end into her mouth that she discovered just how messy lo mein could be. For when you do that, the noodles have a tendency to fly up and smack you in the face, leaving the oil and sausage all over your visage. Which was exactly the case here. Snickering, I pulled the handkerchief off my head and wiped the offending spot on her face, earning an embarrassed smile from her. That was when I met the second pony of the main six, for the door had just burst open and a rainbow-colored streak flew in immediately. I froze. I was mesmerized. More so than I had been by Twilight. For you see, this was my favorite rainbow-colored streak. The coolest of the cool, the fastest of the fast. Measurable in increments of 1/5 in just how much awesome she brought to the plate. It was my idol, Rainbow Dash. Oh, sorry about that. A little over-exaggerating.
Twilight, there's a huge crater in town square.
Rainbow Dash cried before taking in the actual scene. Specifically the one where I was serving Twilight lunch and happily cleaning the sauce off her face.
Oh. Whoa. Hey! Twilight, did you get a cult friend? That's so awesome.
Before you could say, go.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh!
Twilight shoved my helping hoof away, blushed brightly, and nearly choked trying to speak with a mouthful of noodles.
No. No. No.
I laughed, quite caught off guard by both Rainbow Dash's question and Twilight's immediate reaction. Wow. That did look compromising. I promise so. That's not the case. I mean, we haven't even decided on my name yet.
What?
Dash was confused, obviously, giving me a sharply suspicious look and flapping up to closely examine me.
Yeah, I don't recognize you at all. You new?
I started to respond, but instead I just kind of stared back at the Cayenne pony's plum-colored eyes in utter awe as it sank back in whom I was speaking to. Let me put things into perspective for the kids at home. My Google Chrome is RBD themed. My desktop wallpaper is Rainbow Dash proudly pointing at her chest on a black reflective background. My smartphone's background is a sonic rain boom stretched 7 panels wide. My elemental shaman on World of Warcraft is named Rainbow Crash. My Trillion account avatar is Rainbow Dash flailing her tongue about.
I bought a black t-shirt with the words RBD 20% cooler in 10 seconds flat,
with her cutie mark in a punkish art style in the center.
Are you catching my hint? Are you picking up on what I'm putting down?
Has the dang metaphorical elephant in the room become fat and obvious enough yet? Because it's standing right there. Translation:
I love this pony!
I know, I should be ashamed to admit this, yet strangely I'm not. My awesome day had reached a critical level, and there just wasn't any possible way for it to handle any longer. There comes a point when you simply have to take a break from preposterous amounts of cool, awesome, and general win. I passed out. Yeah, like a fangirl. Also, I can tell you from the bruise I would later wake up with, nobody was nice enough to catch my heavy plot.
You cut me deep, Rainbow Dash. You cut me real deep.
And that's the end of chapter 1.
This is what song I want.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Next chapter is gonna be the next upload, so yeah. See you then.